Stuart, I have a question.
Yes.
I've been feeling a lot more resistance in myself recently than I have in a while, and I'm wondering what I can do to break it down.
And where is the resistance?
I don't know, just within me.
Look, I've said this a million times. Resistance is not necessarily a negative thing. Resistance always means, or often means, that you're ready for a major change in your life. You're ready to go to a new level, deep inside yourself, and also a new level of living your life. And that's basically what's happening to you right now. And the resistance is that part of us that really doesn't want to change. But it's also that part of us that's telling us we're ready to make these changes. And it's time for us to simply let go. It's time to take a chance. It's time to, take your inner work a little bit deeper so that you can connect with a higher force in the universe that will give you the energy to make the kinds of changes that are taking place in your life. So resistance, is not necessarily negative. It's just a reminder that we have reached a place, it's like a precipice. We have reached a place where we're ready to take a step into the unknown. And if you don't have resistance to that, there's something wrong with you. It's a natural thing to feel resistance towards, because first of all, most everyone's afraid to step into the unknown. Most everyone's afraid to change. They want to live comfortably in the world that they recognize. So resistance isn't really a negative thing. It's just a reminder that you're ready to take a major step in your life. And if you bring that resistance into the chakra below the navel, it will transform itself into chi. And you will have that, you be able to use that chi in order to make the changes that you're ready to make in your life. It's a simple answer. We always think resistance means something negative. It doesn't. Without resistance, there would be no airplanes flying in the sky, It's a basic element of physics, resistance. And in our work, it's really an important element because it really is telling you how much, how ready you are to make a change. And as I said, you draw the resistance into the chakra below the navel, you bring it down, and it'll transform into chi. That will give you the energy to truly make the changes that are taking place in your life. That's something I can't do for you. I can help you do it, but I can't do it for you. It's something that you truly have to, work with on you, in terms of your inner work, in terms of opening more, in terms of doing a deeper inner work, in the terms of transforming resistance into a positive energy. And that perhaps is one of the most amazing things about Rudy's meditation. You can take negative energies, or what we think are negative energies, and transform them into positive energies. Energies that help you to grow, energies that open you deeper. And that's really, honestly, an extremely important thing to learn in life. Because every day of our lives, we are confronted by negative energies. But knowing how to transform them and knowing how to use those energies like resistance, like, depression, unhappiness, how to use them and master them and not allow them to take over is one of the essential ingredients in doing deep spiritual practice. If you didn't feel resistance, I would be very concerned. I mean that. Does anyone else have a question they would like? Yes, sir.
Stuart, I have a question.
Yes, go ahead.
One thing that I think I'm getting worse at is that when I want something in life and I get close to it, I'm getting very attached to controlling the outcome. How can I work on that?
Well, how do you control what you don't even know is going to be? You're trying to control the future. The outcome is the future. Or if it becomes the present and you want to control it, you just instantly stop your growth. That becomes your limitation. I mean, I've discovered when I attain things in life, the best thing I can do is just, surrender them, enjoy them, live with them, allow them to work for me in my life, but not be attached to them, and understand that one of the greatest things about inner work and growth is that things manifest, and they manifest, to help you in your inner life, but one has to be able to not allow them to take over your life. Otherwise, that becomes the end of your growth. And again, it's just being focused inside, it's being grounded inside, it's getting energy moving through the entire chakra system that gives you the inner strength to be able to attain things in life and not be attained by them. I mean, Rudy always said it's not to have, it's to have and to be free of what you have. Because to be free of what you have requires an incredible inner strength that you can truly detach yourself. And it also makes room for a whole new flow of energy and creativity to come into you. And if you're trying to reach for what's infinite in the universe, it's endlessly attaining and letting go, attaining something, letting go, attaining, letting go. Because what we're reaching for is that which is infinite in the universe. And that reaching keeps us growing every day of our lives. And that's the greatest thing that can happen to a human being, that every day in their life, they're growing and becoming, more of a human being, more successful in the world, more open to God's energy, more, capable of learning how to live here with love and compassion and truly living on the highest level of what it means to be human. So the rewards are great, but holding on to them limits our growth. Living with them and allowing them to function in your life and to do, help you in your life, at the same time not being attached to them, requires an incredible inner strength. Because the mind always gets involved, and the mind, oh my God, I got this and that, and all it does is limit the next level of growth that can take place inside you. I have no problems with reward and attaining things. I think it's wonderful. People have success, they make money, they fall in love. This is all incredible stuff that can happen to human beings in this world. The problem is, that these attainments become ends in themselves, and they become our limitation instead of just steps on a ladder that leads to a real freedom, which is a connection with higher energy in the universe. Everybody should be successful. It makes life better. But how often do you see really successful people that are so trapped in their success that, it really just ultimately drains all the life out of them? It's to have and to be free of what you have. That's the real test. Does anyone else, and how do you get free? You got to be grounded, you got to be centered, and that grounding and centeredness inside allows you to let go. It allows you to live in the world and at the same time be free of the world, which I think is an incredible way to live. And I didn't know this before I met Rudy, and he trained me in how to do this, how to be in the world and to be free of the world. Does anyone else have a question I would like to ask?
Stuart, I have a question. Sorry, my mute was on last time. Um, when you attain a level and you find a certain level of balance, and then you're wanting to surrender that and go above it, do you still work to stay balanced as you rise, or are you just focusing on?
Stay balanced, and you stay balanced by focusing your attention in the chakra below the navel. That allows you to go through the void without losing your balance in the void. That allows you to go to the next level without losing. You need that grounding, because going through that void without being grounded in, it's an impossible thing. It's too difficult when you're grounded. I mean, it's like in that book of mine, navigating the river, or I talk about a tree. When the roots are strong, the tree, a hurricane comes and can't blow the tree down. When the roots are weak, any little wind that comes along can blow the tree down. We need roots like that are really strong, so that when we go from level to level, when we go through that void, we truly are grounded inside. We have the strength to take that voyage without allowing it to, take over and sometimes even destroy people, So the key to this is not just the activation of Kundalini, for instance. The key to this is to build a system inside that is strong enough to activate Kundalini. And when Kundalini is activated, it will take you through these voids. It'll take you to whole other levels of consciousness. And if you're not grounded inside, I had a guy send me a letter today. My God, it was scary. I don't know what he was taught, but Kundalini was activated in him and almost made him, he wanted to go to a sanitarium. And nothing in that letter ever said one word about being grounded, having the strength inside to deal with the kind of energy that takes us from level to level. And Kundalini will do that. It'll take you from level to level. So it's why I always, tell everyone to focus, get grounded, get the training inside that keeps you grounded and keeps you from, allowing these forces that are very strong to do anything that can damage you inside. They're too strong for you. But once you get that grounding, then you can deal with whatever happens. You have the capacity inside to deal with whatever happens. I get, honestly, I get letters like this maybe once or twice a week from people who have had, who have activated Kundalini. I don't know who they studied with and who did it for them. And, my head is exploding. My pain, this and that. Yes, this is what happens. If you're grounded inside, you can deal with all of that. If it happens, you can deal with it. And you can really deal with going through the void, the changes, the new cycles, the death and the rebirth that manifests inside a human being. So the whole essence of Rudy's teachings is to get grounded. It's the first thing he ever taught me when I met him. And to stay grounded as your system goes through all the different changes.
That means without training, Kundalini energy come sometimes happen, some person, or just
Look,
training difficult.
people have Kundalini experiences. I
Wow.
met many people that have people do it on drugs. You take drugs. Before I met Rudy, I did LSD, I did all this stuff, and I was having Kundalini experiences. Very powerful. I was in no condition to deal with those experiences, and they would, if I would have continued to do it, they would have destroyed me. Understand? Yes, people have Kundalini experiences. People teach things that activate, but very few people teach, even people that somehow are supposed to be teaching Rudy's work, don't teach people to get grounded inside. And this is the first thing that Rudy ever told me. Bring the focus of your attention to the chakra below. It's the first thing he said to me when he was showing me the exercise. Because that kind of training can enable you not only to deal with Kundalini, but karma, life, all the changes, the insanity of the world, what we have to go through every day, earning a living, relationships. We need to be very strong to be able to deal with those kind of everything. So the grounding enables us to live in the world, and Kundalini enables us to get free of the world. But we need to be centered. We are a point in a triangle that connects infinite energy with life. And if that point is not focused and strong, Kundalini goes crazy, life eats us up, you understand? And people are always blaming things out. They're not grounded, they're not balanced inside. So Kundalini and life, and even drawing in Shakti and spiritual energy, is very powerful. We need to have that inner strength. And that's the essence and the foundation of everything I teach. To build that inner strength so you can have Kundalini experiences, so you can work out your karma, so you can draw the energy of God or spirit or whatever you want to call it into yourself. And the center of that triangle is the chakra right below the navel. That allows the heart to open, the throat to open, the mind to be quiet. It allows us to master sexual energy, and it allows us to also activate Kundalini. Just having that foundation, that grounding inside, gives us the strength to do all of that. And on top of it, it gives us the strength to live in the world and take care of all this bullshit that goes on in life without allowing it to destroy us. And that, in essence, brings many kinds of experiences, internal experiences, external experiences, that we need to be deeply grounded in order to deal with. Otherwise, it's a blame game, Kundalini is killing me, life is killing me, all the things, my God, the politics, the hunger, the this, the money, the pressures, it's always the blame game instead of getting that grounding, and you can deal with all these things. Does anyone else have a question they would like to ask?
Stuart, can you talk about in the day just going about the day, drawing in energy, like in relationship to engaging with other people or in relationship to the atmosphere. I don't think I'm quite clear about that dynamic of drawing in energy in those interactions, like from other people versus from the atmosphere.
Wendy, you don't have to draw other people's energy. Understand, we're not here to live off of other people. We become like vampires, eating the other people's energy. If you connect with spirit, if you connect with a higher energy, you will connect to the fountainhead of all energy. And that energy will give you the strength to be able to deal with all the people that you have to deal with in your, without sucking their energy, taking their energy. Because that creates nothing but a lot of tension and a lot of problems. And we're not here to live that way. We're here to nurture people. We're here to consciously, unconditionally give and receive from people. But we're not here to eat other people. We don't become, spiritual cannibalists. Rudy called his book Spiritual Cannibalism, And that's really, he's talking eating the universe, eating other, it's all an eating game here. And we're here to build an inner life that what are we attached to? We're attached to infinite energy in the universe. That energy gives us the strength to be able to allow life, as I always say, to be our teacher. What does it have to teach us? What do we have to learn from the people we meet every day? So I wouldn't go around thinking you have to take other people's energy. That will create nothing but hardship in your life.
I meant like more like staying open, how not to close off when there are interactions.
Wendy, it's the same answer. If you're connected there and grounded inside, you have no problems being open to whatever's going on in your life. When you're not open inside and not then everything becomes intimidating and threatening, and you want to back away. Otherwise, you can deal with whatever takes place, but you need that inner strength. That's what the meditation is for. That's why I have 7 classes a week. Today I've been doing in-person class, Pat Fay is here and Isabel is here. I've been doing in-person classes with them every day because the training is essential. Getting that strength inside is essential to living the way I'm talking about. And that's what happens in these classes. People, I can come to a class today, but I don't have to, I can come next week. It's just bullshit, They're never going to get it. They're going to do this for the next 12 incarnations instead of taking advantage of what the universe is providing. And it's not fanatical. What does this amount to, 4 hours a week? You figure out there's 165 hours, I think, in a week. But to get the training, one has to invest their time and energy to learn. And that builds the system that enables you to do what you're asking, Wendy. I mean that, And there's it's not like you go in a room and flick a switch and a light goes on, You got to do the work. You always said work brings more work. And trust me, it does. It really does. You never know where it's going to come from, but it comes. And then, oh, no, or all right, what am I going to learn in this work that I have to do now? Does anyone else have a question they would like to ask?
Thank you.
You're welcome. Keep growing, dear. You're doing really well. It's just a joy to see how far you've come in a short time. Does anyone else have a question they would like to ask? So funny, I've set up my living room here with Buddhas, and Tibetan sculptures, and it's becoming like a bloody temple. It's really interesting. And the energy is getting stronger and stronger, Does anyone else have a question they would like to ask? Okay, God, thank you and God bless you all. I mean, it's just a joy for me to be here to do this. Your presence and the questions you ask really demand that I go very deep inside myself. The class, the questions, the whole class. And I'm very grateful to every one of you. Thank you for being part of this. And hopefully there'll be a class on, what's today, Monday, Wednesday. And I'm looking forward to seeing everybody. God bless. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good night.
Good
Have a
night.
good evening.